So I was born in Corinth, Mississippi, which is not far from here. It's about an hour. So I've always kind of like known about UNA, but I grew up there running cross country, went to Corinth High School. It was a small little town, but it was a fun place to grow up. My dad was like a cross-country fanatic, never run a day in his life, but like loved it. So he had this thing called the Warrior Mobile. We were the Warriors. It was a golf cart that he had decked out with like all of this Warrior paraphernalia. He was like all about it. And so he would load that thing up every Saturday morning at like 5 a.m. and then hook up a trailer with like our tents and chairs and, you know, the whole ordeal. And he'd get up and meet us there at the meet with everything set up. The parents were all like there before the bus even arrived, setting things up, getting snacks and drinks and water ready. And like looking back on it, I took it so much for granted that they were so invested in our sport. But like now as an adult-ish, like I realized how much that they were giving and how much that meant, and that we literally could not have done any of that without them. So I chose UNA. It's kind of a long story, but I'll go ahead and just kind of like sum it up as best I can. So junior year, I had quite a few like health issues just with like iron, and I ran like a 15K in February and then came back like 2 weeks later to begin training for track that spring. And I couldn't even run 2 laps around the track, so we knew something was wrong. Had some blood taken, and it came back that I was having like really low iron. And so I just remember like my doctors telling me I was gonna have to stop running and really focus on like nutrition and getting my iron levels back to like a stable place. And I was like, but if I stop running now, like I'm a junior, I can't nobody's gonna look at me if I do decide to run cross country. And so I remember my mom had like started helping me talk to coaches that were reaching out, and I just broke down crying. I was like, I don't want to run in college. I can't do it. It hurts. Like I remember coming back. So from, I guess it was March to July, I was not allowed to run. That was the end of my junior year, going into the summer of my senior year. So obviously I was not in the physical shape that I wanted to be in going into my senior year, and I knew that within a matter of like a month or two I wasn't going to be back at that point. And so I had kind of accepted that like this was it, and I was just going to enjoy it. So the second race of my senior year was actually at McFarland Park, and so I towed the line, got ready to go, started that race. And one thing that would happen like with my low iron is like my arms and legs would just kind of like go numb. And it happened about mile 2 in that race, and I just remember like kind of falling out. Don't remember much about it other than I got wheeled off in a golf cart and did not get to finish that race. But then after the race, I was kind of like having a pity party at the tent, you know. Senior year was not going the way that I wanted it to go. And Coach Trimble, the cross-country coach at UNA at the time, walks up to me and he's like, I'll take you right now as you are. And I basically like thought he was crazy. I was like, why? Like, I know that I'm not good. Like, why do you think that like I could do anything at the college level? But like he knew my times from like junior year and sophomore year, and he just said that he believed in me and that there was something telling him not to give up on me, and I'm so grateful for that. But once I got over the fact that I thought he was crazy, that's kind of when I decided to consider UNA like actually, and so I called him the night before my senior cross-country state meet and told him that I was going to run for him at UNA. When I look back at my time at UNA, honestly, I could probably sit here for the next 2 hours and just run through like little memories, but I just want to touch on like one thing to just try to like give you guys a feel of like this team and this community and like how much they mean to me. So I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. Of course, just with everything that's happened over the past 5 days, I ran my last track meet, or my last meet, and didn't know that it was my last meet. And I ran an 18 flat, which my goal this track season was to break 18. So I was 1 second away and never gonna have another opportunity to break 18. It was a hard pill to swallow, but I also knew that it's not about times. And so like I was okay with it, and knowing that like I still had my team and like all the things that really mattered. But it still hurt, and so my coach and my teammates knowing that were like, hey, like we want to help you reach your goal. And so yesterday, the guys paced me to run a sub-18 5K. I ran a 17:52, and Kara Nix ran every step of the way with me. To be a part of a team that would do that for me, like I literally can't put it into words. And like to know that that will never be in a record book anywhere, like I do not care, because I wouldn't have wanted it to happen any other way. But like that just shows you how much like we're invested in each other and like helping each other reach our goals. Like they didn't have to do that. That's not the best feeling in the world. It's not fun to just on a random Monday try to go sub-18 in a 5K. And for the guys, of course, like just to see them, they had like formed around me like Kipchoge and like the marathon. Like it was literally like the most amazing experience. And I'll remember it for the rest of my life. And that's just honestly just one of the many over these past 4 years that I'll get to take with me. I'm Emma Knight, and I run cross country for the University of North Alabama.